福上无量天尊, my dear Dao friends, I wish you a very good day, a very good night, wherever you are, near or far. Welcome, Tsubei. Today we make a little Dao talk about the three treasures, the Sambao, Dailo Sambao. So a little adjustment, a little adjustment here, a little adjustment there. And I hope some of you enjoyed the past few days, the holidays. If you have some, as you saw, we have normal opening times, so the training is going very normal. And we are open for Dao talks as well. Yesterday was a special day, occasion. We had some students here for eating together and playing some games together. So that's why there was no Dao talk yesterday, but it doesn't matter. Therefore, we have a much better Dao talk today. Of course, with some good old tea, old pu'er tea. Yeah, this tea is so good. It's like liquid gold. I have to say it because I get a lot of tea from friends and students, and this tea especially is from my dear friend Wudang from Wuhan. Now he lives in Wuhan, but he's a very special guy. He always drives his bicycle around all China, and he gave me, last time I met him in October, he gave me a lot of good pu'er tea because he's also a pu'er expert. And there's stories about him, but maybe on another occasion we're gonna talk more about this. So today we're gonna talk about the three treasures. And I know I was talking about in the past few live streams as well, but today we want to do a deep talk, and I invite all of you to join the discussion, the conversation. Everyone who is up now, I don't know where you are, but you are welcome to join us. And just comment your comments or ask the questions in the comment section, and we're gonna answer them right away. All my dear friends from all around the world, Tsubei, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I welcome you to join our Dao Talk, Deep Talk live about the three treasures today. I feel like I announced some very big thing, but it's the basic knowledge. And the Daoist practitioner, they should at least know the first three, the Xue Dao Sambao. I know I was talking about this yesterday, but today we want to go a little bit more deeper into this. The day before yesterday, yesterday was no Dao talk. So the Xue Dao Sambao, the three treasures of learning the Dao, 学习, 学道, the learning the Dao, or study the Dao, is the Dao, the Jing, and the Shi. Dao Jing Shi, Sambao, Dao Jing Shi, Sambao. Dao Jing Shi is the Dao, the scriptures, and the master, the Shifu. And if you want to learn Dao, you could learn the Dao from the scriptures. And the scriptures, the Dao is in the scriptures. So when you read the scriptures and you don't have experience, or you don't know what the words mean, then you need a master who teach you the scriptures. Shifu, the teacher, teaches you the special meanings of the scriptures. So you can learn Daoist practice, Daoist cultivation. You can learn what Dao is, what the Dao means, what we do when we say we are Daoists, right? So it is essential to have a good teacher. Not any teacher, but it must be a teacher who can teach you the deep meaning of what you want to learn. If you want to become a carpenter, you also don't go to some guy just around the corner who just started this, right? You want to find somebody who can teach you all the secrets, even like the tricks with the Japanese style of making the furniture. If you can find someone like this, it's rare, right? So you need to first look for a good teacher, And if you find one, then you need to convince him to become your master, your shifu. Sometimes you find a good master, but it doesn't mean that if you find one, that he also accepts you as a student. Or if you find one, maybe he's not the right one for you. Maybe he's good or he's really awesome, but maybe he's not the right one for you. Or sometimes you seem to find a good master, but then soon it will come out that he's not the right one, or maybe he is just a fraud or anything. There is many Daoist friends also maybe watching this video contacted me about asking about this and that person or whatever whom, you know. There is many ways to find out if a master does really know the Taoism. Just ask him about the three treasures. Maybe he already know it, but if you ask about scriptures, then many already stop knowing it, because the scriptures is essential for Taoist practice. There is a romantic idea of Taoist practices, Taoist religion. Taoist religion is Taoist practice. So when we do our scripture or ceremony to honor any of the Taoist immortals or Taoist gods, then this is practice as well, because the practice of the sound, the rhythms and everything, it is a practice of qi. It's a qigong, if you want to call it this way. So there's also very significant knowledge about the scriptures, about the practices. You know, someone who teaches Taoism just by philosophy because he read the Tao Te Ching once, you know, he's not a Taoist master. He's maybe he's a scholar or anything like this. But if you understand that there is a transmission of knowledge from Shifu to the deeds, from the master to the disciple, then there is much more to it than just reading a book or two. You see. Yes, my dear Dao friends, Oleg, ni hao, ni hao. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Everyone who wants to join us and watch this is welcome also to ask questions in the comment section. Join our discussion about the three treasures. I was just talking about if you want to find out if the master is a good master, then it's better to look in any direction, and also he tests you. And if it's just about earning some money or earning some title or earning some name, then you should be aware at first. And of course there is a respectful tuition fee, because a shifu, if he accepts you as a student, then you should also take care of the master, because he doesn't have any other way of income, so he needs to live, right? So mostly in China, what I've seen or I've experienced as well as here, also my students do the same. Occasionally, you know, they bring things, they give hongbao, especially for the baishi. There is a hongbao involved. Usually, it is not necessarily, and if the student doesn't want to give anything, it's also fine. You know, it's just over time you will see the master need also support of the students. Otherwise, he will starve to death, right? So this is what it is. Yeah, and hongbao, red envelope, is very common in Chinese culture. If you visit your grandparents, if you visit your parents, or if the parents give you a gift for Chinese New Year, they put money in a red envelope and they give it, because this is a lucky gift. And especially in many Daoist lineages, it is very common to give the master a gift. If it's not a hongbao or something what he could use, you know. Many people think they can just buy themselves into a lineage. I also get a lot of contacts from these kind of people, if they can become a student and enter the lineage and get the title and whatever not. But it is not possible. I also take students, you know, I I barely take students, disciples, because the same way like I was treated, it's a probation, you know, there's a probation involved. And for everyone who wants to become a disciple, you need to know one thing. It is not about anything you can buy. It is just things what I can give. For example, I'm just talking about my experience right now. Things I can give or I teach is you cannot buy with gold or anything. It's just possible to buy it with honesty, trust, loyalty, and the practice, the sweat, the blood you sweat out, the blood you bleed out when you practice, yeah, is the perseverance, yeah, the continuously practice. This is what my tuition fee is. Of course, I also take money for the martial art courses and whatever not, and workshops, but this is very normal because this is what keeps everything alive. In our world today, we need money to survive, and this is very normal. You know, you cannot believe how many people like write some very not so nice comments or even mails saying, how can you take money for this? Who say that for the teachings of Taoism I cannot charge money, or any master? They never seen any temple or any master or teacher in China. So please go find out for yourself. This is my only answer I give to him. Okay, so if somebody think that you can find Tao by just reading a book or something, well, then you must have practiced the many lives before, and then of course it's possible. But when you just start hearing about Tao, then of course you need to find a master, and the master need food to eat, right? So to keep it simple. So yeah, if you want to find a master, and this is not an easy task in my opinion, because there's many masters, and many, of course, they just take some money and take you as a student right away. This is not how I learned it, and it's not how I teach or how I accept disciples. If it's just about the money and the title, then you go ahead and find your way. But if it's about the honest practice and the honest, true transmission, you know, who just take money for this taking a disciple doesn't have 100%, doesn't have the real transmission. So also, if you find a master, you should test him, or you should find out if he's the right master, and he will test you. If this doesn't work, or if this doesn't happen, then there must be some issue. I don't want to say anything about if you find a master and whatever is going on with you, but this is just my honest and humble opinion and my experience. So if you watch this video and start thinking maybe you find a teacher or want to find a master who can teach you the Tao, you're welcome to contact me anytime. Yeah, maybe I'm the good one for you, maybe not. And you could also find everywhere. It's just how you look at the world. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a person who is wearing a hat or having the long hair like this, or wearing the Taoist clothes, but it is important that you look actively. Don't think that somebody is coming around and then you just hop on the train. Very simple, and this is a significant difference from Buddhist practice or Buddhist teacher and student relationship. The train you hop on or the vessel you're gonna join, it's not happening like this. In the Buddhist practice, you probably will join a community. Of course, there's a big community and a family in China, and in the Daoist community, a big family in the Daoist community, but not everybody practice the same way, and not everybody practice very hard. Yeah, many Taoists, for them it's just a job to be a Taoist master, to be a Taoist priest or whatever. to make their daily tasks, and they live because they have nothing else to do. Live this life. It's also very common, if you don't find a job in China, to go into the temple and become a monk or become a Daoist master, Daoist. It's called Daoist. And here is also something very significant. There is no monks in the Daoist religion. There is no monk. This word is not a Daoist term. There is a Daoist or the Fashi. Fashi is the priest, and the Daoist is the Daoist practitioner or the Daoist master. Shi is Shifu, Shi is Daoist, Daoist master. And the Junshi is probably like the same meaning, like the official, or the Dizi, okay? But there is no monk. This word monk is in Chinese is Heshan, and Heshan there is only in Buddhist religion, Heshan. So who think there is a Daoist monk or whatever, this is not a real thing. They all call Daoshi. Yeah, so Daoist master. So here's a very good internal knowledge about this. So yeah, our topic today, maybe I got a little bit off topic. Our topic today is the three treasures. Deep talk about three treasures. And you're mostly welcome to join the conversation, to join the discussion. And if you have anything to say, just do it if it's related to the topic today. If it's some questions off topic, just write me a message or write me an email or contact me via Facebook or Facebook Messenger. And yeah, join me for tea. Tonight we talk about the three treasures. Today, my dear Dao friends. Yes, the three treasures, the 学道三宝. Sanbao means three treasures. And at the morning scriptures, after the first melody, there is Ju Tianzun, like a praying to the divine, the higher divine, and it's called Dailuo Sanbao Tianzun. Sanbao means also the three treasures. Tianzun is like the heavenly highest divine. Tianzun. So the Dailuo is the highest heaven. There is 36 heavens, and to make it short, because this is a very long Dao talk, also deep talk, we do another day. But the Dailuo is the highest heaven, where only the highest divines reside. Right? If you become a immortal, very pure immortal, then you're gonna stay in the Dailuo Tian. The highest heaven is called Dailuo Tian. So the Dailuo Sanbao Tianzun, because the three treasures, the three clarities, Yuanshi Tianzun, Lingbao Tianzun, and Dao de Tianzun, are residing there as well. So that's why we preach or pray to the three clarities in the morning ceremony, and this is also called the three treasures, Sanbao. Yeah? It is also the Dao, the Jing, and the Shi. Yeah? Because Lingbao Tianzun, Dao de Tianzun, Yuanshi Tianzun, they give a lot of teachings to the mortals, to us, through the way of transmission, and true transmission is also from divine. And there is many stories I could tell you also about some Shifu or some master, also my own experience, but maybe I tell you one thing, one story, because this is a very interesting thing. Let me wear a little jacket now. It's getting a little cold. Yeah. I have a student, my dear student Chu Dao from Mexico. There's 20 degrees in the evening. He feels cold, so he say he feels a little cold, need to wear a jacket. Yeah, we have winter now, and yeah, well, the oven is getting colder, so I need to wearing something. Okay, and the story is the following. I have a master, I have a teacher who is old Daoist, old master, living in a cave for quite a long time, over 25 years. and he is teaching us a lot of things, also scriptures. And he was telling me once about one of his students, also not like they are also his deeds, but he is also a teacher who taught us some special scriptures. And it is said that this person, I haven't asked this master or this teacher about it, but I know this is not a lie or anything, because I trust in my master and my teacher. So this person have a direct contact to Zihang Zhenren, and Zihang Zhenren teaching some of the ways how he recite the text. So there is a special, and I don't teach this publicly, and also not to my disciples yet, because they should have a standard first of the Shifang Yun. The Shifang Yun is the very common in the Longman Pai and Quanzhen Pai. It's the way the recitation or the melodies are chanted. But this way is a very, very different way, and this way is a very special way because he directly got taught by Zihang Zhenren. So this is the story. If you believe it or not, I believe it from deep in my heart, because I trust in my Shifu, in my master, and I trust in the words they say and the things they tell me. So because I have also similar experiences, but I will not get into this publicly. Maybe my deeds, some of them know, but I will not talk about my deep experience in public, because this is only for my own practice and very important. If you experience some phenomenon, like deep phenomenon in your practice, you should keep it for yourself. Otherwise, they might affect the practice of other people, and this is also not the way you should do it. So a little off topic now, but this is also very important for you to know, that there is still a lot of divines teaching the scriptures or transmitting ways of practice to practitioners, to deeds, to disciples of different lineages. And this is what happens quite often. If you get into this more deeper into the Daoist community also in China, then you will hear it quite often that people are able to leave their body with their Yuanshen. And there was a discussion about Yuanshen couple days ago, also with one of the audience, one of the Dao friends from around the world. Welcome. If you just start watching, our topic today is the three treasures. And we were talking about the transmission of scriptures, also from the divines. And the divine is still teaching, or there's many divines, right? There's many gods, and they are still teaching the disciples of different lineages. This is what I just said. And most of them, most of the disciples they teach, they are already quite experienced masters. So it is essential to find a good master if you want to have an authentic tradition or authentic transmission. And if there is no transmission happening, even after a few years, you're just wasting your time. It is something very hard to say, but it is the truth. And many are just trying to build a name, or many, want to be like some big master, but they don't have anything. They just have some self-made up things, and sooner or later it will come out anyway, because at one point the students start looking for some answers, and if the Shifu just cannot give them, or if they find some other people and learn some more things, then sooner or later the student's gonna find out that the master is a fraud, and this is happening quite often. And even these kind of fake masters, let's call them. I don't like to gossip or anything about anyone, and everyone is mostly welcome, and I love everyone. But it is hard for those teachers who just make up things, or just, you know, teach something what they just made up by themselves to the students. It is hard for them to step down from their throne to become a student again, to learn something from some real master or some real transmission. And this is also what I experience quite often, you know. It is very simple. There's regulation and rules, you know, there's uniform standards. It differs from lineage to lineage, of course. You know, for example, there's some lineages they wear this hat, or there are some lineages they wear the top knot like this, or, you know, there's many things. One can only know if they are in this lineage, or one can only know if they are if they learned it from somewhere, you know, how to make the socks. It's a special, this is like the most easy and common thing, how to wear the uniform right. And if you see, there is regulations about this, because there is symbolism in everything. In every detail there's symbolism, in everything in the Daoist practice. Even how you make the socks. This is what I teach my students in the first day they wear the socks. How to make the socks, the knot from the socks, because this is a very important symbol. Yeah. I will not teach you now, because then everybody gonna know, and everybody publicly gonna announce they're a big master. A very funny thing. Yeah, even in the martial art world, yeah, you just put the socks on, the white socks. Yeah, but only if you practice Taoism, you know there is a difference of the knot. This is what I teach my students the first day they wear the uniform. So it's also important to be patient. Yeah, like many years I had to wait until I can find a good master, or many years I had to wait until I learned what I wanted to learn. But once I like feel comfortable with being patient, like once I can accept that maybe I need to wait for so long until I learn something, then everything just came to me by itself. So if you expect too much, if you expect something from your master or from whoever you want something to learn from, then you will probably not get it anyway. Yeah. I've met many people, also foreigners, Taoists, whatever, you know, and there's one occasion somebody introduced me to my later master, and this person, you know, he just made a bad impression with everyone, and he didn't get accepted from anyone. He just knows everyone, but no one would take him as an indoor student, as a real disciple, because he doesn't have the right character. And at the end of the story, many years later, I can see this person is just, he made many big waves, but at the end, it was just some fun tourist thing for him, maybe, and he changed his way and, you know, didn't really continue with Taoism at all, you know. And some people, they just try to jump on the train to make some money, and some people, they just are the train. Yeah. Let's sink this in. Let us sink this in with a cup of tea. I'm also not Dao. I'm also not the Dao. If you want to learn the Dao from me, this is what I tell everyone. The Dao is like the water spring coming out, the water coming out from the spring. And you want to drink from the spring, you want to learn the Dao. I'm just the spoon or the bowl you take there to put the water inside and can drink from it. Okay, I'm the bowl, or I'm the spoon you can drink the Dao from, the water. Yeah, I'm just the person who can do some transmission to the person who wants to drink from the Dao, drink from the Shui Chuan, the spring. Okay, so but back to the three treasures. The three treasures are important for any Daoist. If you never heard about this, maybe, and you just start watching, I see there's many just start watching. Welcome, my dear Dao friends. If you just started watching this video, you could wait until the stream ends, and it's gonna be uploaded on the timeline on Facebook. And once in a week, we also upload all episodes on YouTube, the channel of Daoist Liu. Yeah, so Tsubei, my dear Dao friends, if you just start watching, I was talking about the three treasures of learning Dao, the Xue Dao Sanbao, the three treasures of learning or study the Dao. And I think now it's good timing for continue to talk about the cultivation of the Dao. And the Xue Dao Sanbao, there's three treasures of cultivating the Dao. And this is something very interesting for many Daoists who already know what Dao is, who already have a teacher, already know the scriptures or practice the scriptures. My dear Dao friends from America, they translated my dear Dao friends from the Parting Cloud community, from the Parting Cloud group in America, they translated the Zawanke, the morning evening scriptures, to English language. So many people are now able to read the complete text and understand what the meaning is, you know, but there is still necessary to know the right practice, to know the right method. There is always a method to the practice. If you just read a book, it's just reading a book. But if you know how to use what is in there, if you learn or get transmitted from the Shifu how to practice this, how to chant, how to recite the text, how to make the hand seals, or how to make the the talisman, then there's a complete transmission, and every scripture has a complete transmission. This is why many of the scriptures, I would have to go to the next room to show you what I mean. Many scriptures from our lineage have a seal stamp, a full talisman, and of course there's still important transmission from the Shifu involved with this for the complete practice of this certain scripture. We practice not only the morning evening ceremony, but there's 4 basic scriptures. It's the morning and evening scriptures, the Zawanke, Gongke Jing, there's the Beidou Jing, there's the Sanguan Jing, and then we also practice the Zhenwu Jing, and many other scriptures. Zhenwu Jing is a very important scripture. There is this important practice with it, go with it. Zhenwu Jing, the scriptures of the Xiongwu Dadi, is very common for Wudang Pai, for Wudang Daoist disciples to practice the Zhenwu Jing. So if you came along, or if you came across some Wudang Daoist or Wudang master, then they might also practice this as well. The Zhenwu Jing. Okay, so let's continue to talk about the 3 treasures of the cultivation of Dao. If you have any questions, please, you're mostly welcome to comment in the comment section. I need to make some more hot water, so I hope you don't mind the noise in the background. You see, my English is getting worse now. I need more tea. Okay, so Xue Dao Sanbao is the Dao Jing Shi, the Dao, the scriptures, and the master. And the Xue Dao Sanbao is the Jing, Qi, Shen, the Jing, the essence, the Qi, the energy, and the Shen, the spirit. So there's also books in English or German language available who are talking about this. But there's, again, if you have a book or if you have some scriptures talking about the internal practice, on the internal cultivation, then there's always a method involved which is not written in the book, not written in any online forum or anything, because the true transmission is nobody want to give away for nothing, and definitely not publicly. If you have the chance to find a good master who can transmit the practice of the Daoist cultivation, then you're a lucky person. Yeah. Especially when we talk about internal alchemy. Yeah, many people, they say Daoist cultivation is internal alchemy. Yeah, there's more to that, and internal alchemy is not an easy thing to achieve, and internal alchemy is also a very, very big topic. And if you want me to talk about internal alchemy, maybe we need to make a Dao talk, a deep Dao talk about internal alchemy only. But I give you a little peek into the internal alchemy tonight. Okay, I'm just making the tea, so I know you cannot see, but here's a nicely tea setup, because I need some tea to lubricate my voice. If I talk so much, I need some tea to talk more, and to keep my mind focused on the interesting things. So if you just start watching, my dear Dao friends, I will start talking about the Xiu Dao Sanbao, the 3 treasures of Daoist cultivation. The essence is what we call the vessel or the body. Let's say this body is the essence. We need this body, we need the essence to cultivate Qi, to cultivate Dao as well. Yeah. The Qi, the energy, is what make the movements of the body. Yeah. The movements and the energy. In science, this movement is energy, right? We burn things inside our body so I can move. And the silent mover, the person or this thing, what makes the body move, is the spirit. So here you are, have the 3 treasures of cultivating the Tao. It's as simple as it is. The essence, the energy, and the spirit. And there is a progress or a process if you cultivate the 3 treasures. There's no power. Put in the power cable. The process, what I was talking about, just need to put in the cable real quick. Oh, here you go. All right. So the process is called, I say the Chinese first, 炼净化气炼气化神. The 3 level of internal practice, cultivation, is first we cultivate or we practice the Jing, the essence, and the essence is transforming into energy, and then we cultivate or practice the energy, the Qi, and it's transforming to the spirit. So this is a very simple process of cultivation of Tao, the internal cultivation. And if you want me to translate it into practice, then you need to take notes now. Welcome everyone to take notes. Zibei, my dear Dao friends. How we cultivate or how we practice the Jing is very simple. The body needs to become silent. The body needs to become still. So we practice meditation. It's a very, or sitting. Yeah, we practice sitting. Again, I really don't like to use the word meditation because the meditation or the idea of meditation in the Western words, in the Western dictionary, is a little different than in the Daoist dictionary. So let's call it sitting practice. Yeah, 静坐 is called sitting in stillness. And why is it called sitting in stillness? It's because the body needs to relax, the body needs to be still, yeah, not moving. Yeah. So when we sit, and can sit for a while, can sit for an hour, 2 or 4 hours, and do this regularly, then the body gets soft, the body gets more still, the body gets more relaxed and released. Sum, fang sum is a very important topic. So your breathing gets relaxed, everything gets very harmonized. Yeah, your heart becomes more still. Yeah, because you sit in stillness. And sitting in stillness, or sitting still, doesn't mean sitting in stillness. This is a very important difference. So sitting still will first of all cultivate or strengthen your energy, your essence. And once the essence is full, yeah, 静慢, yeah, 静慢, the essence is full, the energy will start cultivate. So when you practice, or if you have the experience already and you're standing, yeah, and you feel, oh, this is tired, that is tired, but over time your body gets more stronger, and you sit maybe after 10 minutes for the first time. If you sit the first time, maybe after 10 minutes your body gonna feel really tired, but over the time you will be able to sit for an hour or 2 hours even. And once you're able to sit for a long time, your body gonna be calm, and your body gonna cultivate the jing. You're gonna cultivate and nurture the essence. So once, and here's step 2. Yeah, once you be able to have a calm mind, the stillness practice, the still mind, your qi gonna start moving, yeah, and because your body is still, yeah, it's relaxed, yeah, the qi can flow through the body without blockage. So once you can focus your mind on breathing, or keep it still and don't have it like the jumping around monkey, then you're gonna be more sensitive, and qi is flowing in your body anyway. Maybe there is blockages in your body, but once you feel relaxed, once you open all the blockages, you're gonna be able to feel the qi flow everywhere. And because the mind is so raw and so rough, it's not fine at the beginning, it gets more fine, more refined, yeah, through the practice. And same is for the body, it gets refined, yeah. And this is an important process or progress. It's a progress. So when your mind can become still, your body and your senses get so fine, so sensitive, that you feel the qi very, very strong. Sensations of visual or anything. You're gonna feel a lot of phenomena. I don't want to plant any idea in your mind right now. I just want to teach you the basics so you can practice with it. So when you can be able to sit in silence, sit still, and focus your mind, you can become still, or you can enter the stillness. And this is what we really call true 静坐, 真正的静坐, 如经. Yes, thank you, my dear Dao friend from Argentina. Yeah, Argentina is a beautiful country. I'm very happy you watch us. And Oleg, it's I just see there's a question from Oleg, my dear Dao friend. Jin, well, you know, if you write Jin, this is in the pinyin. The Jing what I'm talking about is Jing, and Jing is very very common. If you want to restore Jing, yeah, then there is many things involved. Of course, it starts with the body needs to be calm, and the body needs to be silent, and not wasting Jing. Yeah? Like I mentioned the day before, yesterday, there's a lot of ways how you can waste your Jing, your essence, especially with extreme habits like eating or drinking, going out, making party, and all these kind of things are very harmful for the essence. A lot of sexual activities, extreme sexual activities, yeah, is also very harmful for the essence. It needs to be a harmonious life, so you can start cultivating and building up Jing. All right. Yeah, okay, here, this is what I'm doing when I drink tea. I need to fill up everything here. Big container of tea. Great tea from my dear friend Lao. Okay, some hot tea. So, as I say, when you be able to have your mind focused on your breathing, and then later on also entering the stillness, your qi is start cultivating. So when you cultivate the qi for a long time, your body gonna change anyway. It's gonna become very strong, it's gonna become very healthy, and all the problems gonna disappear from itself. Yeah. Then you can be able to transform the energy into spirit. This is what we say it, but how to do it? This is already level 3, and most of the students, or many of you, they are not able to sit for an hour even, to keep the body silent for an hour, to keep the body still for an hour. So usually there is meditation practice for, you need to be able to sit for 4 hours without moving. This is a good basic. And if one of you is able to do this, then you just need to get a step further into the practice. Entering the stillness is nothing what you can achieve from one day to another, or 1 month or 1 year to another. It's a long-term practice. And there's many ways to enter stillness, of course. It's not only through sitting practice or standing meditation, standing practice. So once your Jing and Qi are full, we call it Jing Qi, Lian Man. Lian Man is practice in full. It's like a cup of water. You put a little bit Jing inside, you put a little bit Qi inside, and it's full. You can transform this into spiritual energy or spirit. And this is what we call also alchemy process. So there's yin yang, yin yang. The Jing is the heavy, is the thing you can touch. It's like the water, like I mentioned. What is yin yang? In 2 days, in the day before yesterday's Dao talk, I was talking about the yin yang. And this is what this yin, is the essence, is the Jing. This is yin. And if you see the other side, is the yang part, is the qi, is the light, is the like fire. You have water and fire, yin yang. The one is heavy, the other one is light. So we only need the base in a very harmonious way. The yin yang need to be harmony. And then from this, through a special process, practice or progress, the spirit can rise up. And this is when we start using the spirit to travel or spirit to practice only. And it takes many, many years. There's different practices, different methods, which is only transmitted from master to the student. So again, if you want to find a good master, you need to be patient and also have a kind of faith. Yeah, yuanfen, we call it yuanfen. Yeah, it's all about this, yuanfen, the faith. If it's your fate or your destiny, you're gonna find the master in this life who teaches you how to become immortal. And maybe you got taught, but you don't practice. This is also a pity, but maybe it's just not the right life, right time, right? So yes, this is the 3 treasures of cultivating the Dao. Sanbao, Shu Dao, Sanbao, cultivating the Dao, 3 treasures. So there is another 3 treasures of tonight's deep Dao talk life about the 3 treasures. It's called Xing Dao Sanbao. I like to call it the daily life, 3 treasures of the Dao in the daily life, because this is what you use every day. It's the 3 treasures we practice or we do or we cultivate in our daily life. And this is what is many see this as a philosophy, or also see this in some philosophical books like the Tao Te Ching, and because Lao Tzu is also talking about this. It is the Xing Dao Sanbao. Xing is like the moving, Xing. Yeah, if you can read Chinese, is the moving or like changing. Yeah, the changing Dao Sanbao. The Dao of the daily life. The Dao I teach is a Dao you can use daily. It's not a mystical thing. Immortality. You want me to talk about immortality? Mark, my dear friend Mark, Dao friend, thank you. Can you talk about immortality in a few sentences? Yes, I can. What do you want to know? Yeah, okay, so immortality is... well, let me talk about this first, and then I will tell everyone the Xing Dao Sanbao. There is 5 different immortals, or 5 different kind of immortals, according to the teachings of the Wang Zhe. Wang Chongyang is the 4th patriarch of the Trenden Pai. And his students, well, Qiu Chuji is the founder or the founding father of the Longmen Pai, the Dragon Gate school. So Wang Zhe, Wang Chongyang, he teaches the 5 different kind of immortals. There is ghost immortals, there is human or ren, there's Gui Xian. Gui Xian means the ghost immortal. The Ren Xian is the immortal of the human immortal. Then there is the Di Xian, Tian Xian, and Shen Xian. Di Xian means the earth immortal. Tian Xian means the heaven immortal. And Shen Xian means the highest God immortal or divine immortal. And you have 5 levels. And here's a thing what I tell many people also in my conferences when I teach about this, about immortals or talking about this. Someone who has attachments and is about to die, this person on the deathbed cannot let go of his gold or of his cars or of his wealth or anything, and he really cannot let go of it. He will come back for it. in a different dimension, so he will become a ghost immortal. Ghosts are also immortals. Ghosts are also able to learn Dao. There's there's practice, or there's methods we can bind one ghost to become a Daoist divine, to, for example, help us to do things. If I say one more sentence about this, maybe you're gonna understand a little bit better. For example, the Dishen, or the Earth God or Earth Immortals. There's also methods of binding one local ghost to become this local Dishen, the Tu Dishen, the God of the Earth God, to govern this region, or to help the people who respect and honor him through ceremonies. And there is also methods to bind ghosts to do other things. So ghosts are also practitioner. You don't need to be afraid of ghosts, because there's ghosts all around us. You just don't see them. Maybe you can see them, then you're already open third eye person. So you don't need to be afraid of ghosts, because ghosts help us in our practice. There's many ghosts help us, but there's also demons, and demons is not Gui. Demons is Yao, and we also need to expel the evil. All right. So the other 2 or 3 immortals, what I just mentioned, the Renxian. Everybody can become an immortal through the practice. Immortality doesn't mean your body gonna stay forever. There is ways through a certain practice, and there is only very few known Daoist immortals or Daoist masters who achieve this kind of immortality in the records. One is, for example, Sanfeng Zushi, our patriarch of the Wudang Pai, and another is Liu Dongbing. For these 2 examples are quite well known. Liu Dongbing is also known for that he even appears to some Daoist practitioner or followers of his lineage even nowadays. Same with Zhang Sanfeng. Zhang Sanfeng is said he's alive for over 500 years. So who can achieve this from a good diet or good meditation only is impossible. There is a special transformation of the cells. So maybe in another Dao talk we can go into this kind of immortality a little bit more deeper. But to give you an idea, I think this is good enough. And there is Di Shen and Tian Shen and Shen Shen, Di Shen, Tian Shen, and Shen Shen. And the Shen Shen is the highest divine. Shen means God. So even the Shen, even the immortals, they continuously practice in the dimension they are in. And the spirit is immortal. So the spirit can travel. So the spirit also can travel through many dimensions. And you can maybe understand it in the way I teach many of the students. If you have a ball, I don't have a ball right now, but if you imagine there's a ball and there is an ant. The ant lives in a 2D world. For us, it's a 2D world. She just can look forward and just look backward, and in this 2D level, left and right and forward and backward. The ant cannot look the 3D world we are living in. So imagine there is a ball. I really don't have any ball right now. Imagine there's a ball entering this this 3D, a ball is a 3D object. So imagine there's this 3D ball entering the 2D world of an ant. What does the 2D being or the ant see from the ball? I already make this so you could even guess. The ball enters, and the ball will enter the layer. First a small dot, then the ant will always see, like, the ball enters the 2D world, and bounce back like this. So the 3D object entering the 2D world, the 2D being, like the ant, is only seeing layer by layer by layer by layer by layer. So it only gets a little peek of these layers of the 3D object, but doesn't see the whole thing. So imagine we as a 3D object or 3D being sometimes only can peek into the world or into the dimension of the divines. So sometimes there is signs here and there, and who joined me, especially my students who joined me during the ceremonies, they often see this kind of signs. There were occasions, just to mention a few, the even closed or the like extinguished, if you call it this way, I'm not quite sure about the right word, the turn off candles, just start lighting up again all of a sudden. Or there's the smoke of the incense forms in a certain shape, mostly the face of the divine or the sign of this. Or there's flickering light, or like there was a very big what's it called when the electricity turn off in the whole building, a blackout. There was a big blackout in my last conference in Mexico, and this was a shock for everyone, but for me it's a very common thing, that there's things in different dimensions, and we often can just get a little peek, and sometimes we don't understand, also through our dreams. So dreams are often a window or a gate into different dimensions, even the dimension of the divine or the immortals. And if we can clear our mind, we will be able to remember or look through those, or even walk through those gates as well. Okay, let's continue talking about the three treasures. I hope I could give you some ideas, Mark, my dear Dao friend, Mark. Let's continue talking about the Daoist three treasures of the daily practice. So the Xingdao Sanbao, very simple, is merciness, simplicity, and not to put oneself in front of others. So in Chinese is 次兼让. You're mostly welcome, Mark. You're mostly welcome. I will probably talk a lot about immortals or immortals stories or legends or history in many coming Dao talks. I really like to talk about this because it always gives me hope. All the stories give me also hope to continue what I do, because the immortals, they have so many, the stories of the immortals and the legends, they have so many deep meaning in it, which gives us a light in the dark times. Okay, so yeah, I like to talk a lot about this too. All right, yes, 不客气, Leslie, my dear Dao friend, my dear student from America. So the daily Daoist practice is a very simple one. If we can be merciful, if we can be simple, and if we can put our ego down or back, so we can not put us or ourselves in front of others or find ourselves most important, then we are very close to Dao. There's a good saying that in the 8th chapter of the Tao Te Ching, in simple words, the water flows where no one even wants to look. In the smallest little things, in the smallest openings, the water can flow inside. What is the translation into daily life? Yeah? The Tao or the Daoist, the Daoist practitioner, if he can reach this highest level, he will always accept everything in any way, even the hardest punishment, with a smile on his face. Even people scream at him or hate speech or hate him or punch him, he will just swallow the fist and then smile and say thank you, because this is not putting ourselves in front of others. Zhang, yeah, we also call it Zhang. Yeah. There's a story, and I just mentioned it, there's a story of a student of Wudang. Once he get into an argument with somebody, and this person just punched him in the mouth, on the mouth, and he lost 2 teeth. He keep him in the mouth, swallow them down, and just walk away. Turn around and walk away. Who is able to do this is already very close to Tao. And it's hard. I also know the practice. I know some practices to keep the ego very low. And there's something... There is a very funny practice, and people gonna freak out. I already saw people start fighting about this. Even it started very friendly, as a friendly practice of controlling or lowering the ego. If somebody has a very high ego, they cannot accept a slap in the face from somebody else. And even like some Dao friends, I don't want to mention their names, but if you watch now, you know that I mean you. They start slapping themselves. Like this one slaps and this one slaps. And if one starts to have the feeling the other one like doing a little bit more harder, then they also start slapping more harder. So it ended up in a really big fight. And maybe they both know, if they watch this now, they both know now, yeah, that they failed this test or the practice. Yeah. Even somebody call you names or call you whatever, it's very common to start arguments or start fightings and talk bad things. But if you can, through your practice, if you can control your emotions and keep calm and keep your keep your coolness, then even a tiger will not be able to put his claws in you, because there is no corner, no edge where he can keep, or where he can put his claws in. If you keep putting yourself in front of others, if you are seeing yourself more important than others, then there is many weak points. If you attach to wealth, you will often feel afraid or feel the emotion of losing the things. So this is something what you also, through simplicity, can get rid of. Yeah? If you often spend a lot of time or a lot of money with luxury things, it's also a good thing for you, but as a Daoist practitioner, you try to keep a simple life. If you have more than you need, you can give to others. If you want to build a church, if you want to build a temple, you can also use this money to do something good. But for example, if one builds up wealth, there is no way after you die to keep it or to take it with you. And then if you cannot let go of it, you're gonna come back as a ghost. Yeah, I have many stories about this as well. And I had exorcism practice or exorcism ritual in Mexico about some ghost. Yeah. Long story short, yeah, we needed to get rid of a ghost of a special place, because there was money hidden deep in the earth, and this person, this ghost, wanted it, and he needed to go, and we asked him to leave. So I think he left. Yeah, he left for good. Anyway, so to be mercy is also a very important part of Daoist practice in the daily life. Yeah? But the most hardest thing for many people is to not put oneself in front of others. Yeah? And especially not start fighting. Yeah? Wudang is a very, very important sentence also in the 8th chapter of the Tao Te Ching. Yeah? That the water doesn't start fights, doesn't fight. The water always accepts. If you see the water, you throw a stone inside, the water just surrounds it and takes it. So there's also a sentence called Hai Na Bai Chuan. The biggest, or the ocean takes the water of even the smallest stream. Yeah, it is acceptance, accepting the circumstances, accepting the others like they are, accepting in a natural way. This is all the Rang. Yeah, don't put yourself in front of others. Yeah, acceptance is a very important thing. If you can reach this highest level, then you're already very close to Dao. The 3 treasures of the Xing Dao Sanbao, the 3 treasures of the living the Dao. And yes, this is about a good ending from today's deep Dao talk, the 3 treasures. I just give a little topic review of the 3 treasures. We had the 3 treasures of the study the Dao is the Dao, the scriptures, and the master. The 3 treasures of the cultivation of the Dao is the essence, the energy, and the spirit. And the 3 treasures of the living the Dao is the merciness, the simplicity, and don't put yourself in front of others, or more important than others. Yeah. 好吧? So I think it's a good time to go practice for myself and finish my little tea and then go to practice. I wish you a very good time. Even you just stand up or get up, maybe it's a good time for you to practice, and maybe you're gonna review in your mind what we were talking today. I wish you good days, good holidays if you still have them. If you are with your family, with your loved ones, I wish you a good time with your loved ones. A blessing and good wishes from Germany to the world. I'm Liu Shifu from the Wudang Temple, Yujianguan in Germany. Fu Shang Wu Liang Tian Zun. 慈悲, my dear Dao friends. See you tomorrow.